Coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered coronavirus. Most people infected with this COVID-19 virus will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and recover without requiring special treatment, depending on the degree of one's immunity. Older people and those with underlying medical problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer are more likely to develop serious illness. The Abia State government, having been on lockdown since first day of April 2020, with precautionary measures and palliatives, hearkened to the voice of reasoning to ensure the inhabitants of Abia are relieved from the one-month economic hardship. On Monday, the 11th day of May 2020, exactly 1 month and 10 days of lockdown, the Abia State government announced the opening of all markets in the state for 3 times a week, that is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, from the hours of 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. Relevant market leadership had constituted a 17-man enforcement team that shall enforce all the preventive measures, which includes minimum of 20 liters bucket with tap for running water, with soap and hand sanitizers by each trader, and the wearing of face mask, both traders and the general public. The Living TV crew went round about yesterday to interview few individuals, majorly 3 categories of people, which include a legal practitioner, a clergyman, and a tradomedical practitioner, who said he has found a cure for coronavirus. These and many more we will be bringing to you. Stay tuned. The Barrister Charles Akwete is a practicing lawyer in Aba. He's satisfied with this ease of this lockdown. He also lamented bitterly on the way the government have been going about this, pleaded with the government, especially the federal government, to be transparent with the publication of the names, especially those that have been relieved of the sickness and those who are still in. He said the publication will help people to be more cautious with themselves.
Globally, COVID-19 pandemic has been acknowledged to be a dreaded disease. And it is no respecter of country, state, nation, local government, or even communities. It is fast ravaging all nooks and crannies of the world, so much so that today it is difficult to think about any state or country in the world that is not ravaged by COVID-19. The dreaded pandemic is creating or causing much havoc because of some level of unawareness in the populace. And at the same time, because of some level of poverty and hunger. You will discover that in Nigeria here particularly, the dreaded disease is causing much havoc here because our people appear to be so much in a hurry to go back to businesses, to continue life in the normal way they have been. Fortunately, it is very embarrassing and disheartening that in spite of the global havoc wreaked by the disease and even the deaths already recorded in this country, most of our brothers and sisters still don't believe that the COVID-19 pandemic is real. Some of them associate it with government tendency to make money, either from the global donors or from local donors. Much as that may not be true or wrong. On the issue of the lockdown, well, you see, I have a problem with the lockdown personally because we appear to be in Nigeria practicing what I may call copy and paste system of government and administration. Because Abia State government has made a lockdown, Imo State government appear to be keen at adopting a lockdown too. Because Lagos State government has initiated a lockdown, River State government may also be keen at adopting it. That appears to be the problem with the Nigerian system. Much as I may not have any reason to to be offended by the lockdown, because it is a clear means of averting the contraction of the disease. But at the same time, I want to still say that the people themselves still have a right to be protected apart from by other means apart from the lockdown. More especially when the only source of providing palliative here appears to be the government. The government and the government's palliative may be insufficient to go around the nooks and crannies of Abia State, particularly in this current state of hardship which people have found themselves. So, it is not fair to, in my view, it's not fair to create a lockdown that will further constitute a serious threat and hardship to the citizenry. I suggest that the government finds a means of creating another alternative to the lockdown that will be adopted by the citizens without effecting much hardship, either economically or socially, on them. The current one we are in now is grossly affecting the people. Of course, there is a viral video, where a woman in Benue State was accusing the governor of Benue State of trying to blackmailing her of COVID-19 when she had no COVID-19, and supporting the blackmail with false documentations and particulars of herself. The woman was categorical when she said that the information contained in the so-called COVID-19 test result were not related to her. These are very serious issues and allegations that nobody should sweep under the carpet. The government should be very forthright and transparent in their policies and fight against COVID-19. And one way to make it transparent and very forthright is to ensure that when people challenge their activities and actions, it is shown clearly. In a situation whereby these COVID-19 policies are associated and fought with secrecy and with some level of disdain to the citizens' rights, I mean, it is very unfortunate. Government should not be seen, or government agencies and the government functionaries should not be seen as collaborating sabotage against the government.
We had another popular minister of the gospel in Abia State in the person of Bishop Godi Okafor. Bishop Godi Okafor is the president and founder of Peculiar People's International Ministry in Aba. He was filled with joy and also with encomiums on the governor of the state for the palliatives that were extended to the churches. He said also his church was part of it. He also encouraged the NCDC to put in more efforts on the cure of this dreaded virus.
Thank God for our able governor, Dr. Victor Okezie Bazo. He, as a matter of fact, before the federal government came up with palliatives, he reached out to Abians through the churches in Abia State, and he gave palliatives. And my church also received some. We set up a committee that received from government and distributed to the people. That was a great move and very, very commendable. I want to thank our governor for doing that, and for all the men of God who received from the government and also handed over to us. Well, the church is here and doing our job, and our job is to pray, speak faith into our people, help them to overcome fear, and point them to the Almighty God, who alone controls all things. We are not afraid, we are not scared. God is still on the throne, and everything is not. Well, it has affected, when that restraining order, was imposed, lockdown was imposed on the state, people could no longer associate as before, come out and have fellowship with others as they used to. Our coming together, that association, coming together to pray, coming together to hear the word of God was badly affected. But then people were still praying in their homes. But nothing can take the place of God's people coming together. The Bible says we must not forsake the assembling together of God's people. And I want to thank our governor who allowed churches to start coming together. NCDC should be able to convince Nigerians that this pandemic is real. They should be able to convince Nigerians that the index cases some states have announced or they announce from day to day are real. If you tell Nigerians that 20 people tested positive to COVID-19, and then after some days, you came up to tell them that 10 people are discharged, they've recovered, they've gone home, and could not tell Nigerians what you did, what you administered to those people that recovered. Someone somewhere will be asking, why are they not telling us everything? Why are they not open? You know, at least be open to a certain extent. Let people know exactly what is going on. And now when you have not been able to say what the people expect you to say, what they want to hear, you give them reasons to doubt you and doubt the process. That is exactly what is happening now. Nigerians, most people are very skeptical. If anyone have recovered from COVID-19, tell Nigerians how he recovered, the medication administered, whatever it is. Let the whole nation know that once you start feeling this, see this sign or the other sign, and you do this, you get well. I think we should project that one, talk about that one more than we talk about face masks. Let's tell people, once you start feeling this way or the other way, do this or do that. Let's talk about it daily. Let's talk about it daily. Let people know about it and let people be encouraged to do it. It's better and safer.
On our list, the third person for the day is Onowu High Chief Dr. Ama C. Ama JP, the Director, Ama Chamtrado Medical Research and Herbal Clinic, Institute and Laboratory Services, Aba. He revealed that he has seen the cure for coronavirus. It was so amazing as he had some other things to tell us about the dreaded disease.
So I personally have done a lot of research about this coronavirus, COVID-19. It has a cure. If we give a chance, we use our alternative medicines. Like other countries, like Madagascar, have produced their own. So what I'm soliciting for Abia State, to allow me and invite me so that I will use my own idea and brand whatever I've already researched to cure of this coronavirus, COVID-19. It has cure. There is nothing that don't have cure in the world. Yes, it can be proved now. When a patient is given, the way you can prove it, it can never be hypothesis. It could be something to practical. Yes. I need a solution center. Then a patient will be given to me. Then I will use all the herbs, root and herbs. They will see the efficacy. Then I will truth. Then the person will go back to laboratory test. Then they will say that it will be negative. All the about COVID-19. Mega Mati Amabu, the president, only is in Abia State, in this embargo, and Papa na walk on Abia State. Came body abidro, where music, where me huna. No, not here Basaria, now go ahead and name research. Now chop to here Basaria, Moto Jimmy, my the symptoms. Illegal on a hill on name, my system of breathings, my cough, my hill. I go and come, go and be on baby blanket up as from the lungs. Bumboga, that's not less so serious. Because when we treat it, all the pick and body so early. Or for example, when you want HIV can be treated, but all by to S, when you get so or when you so so ọ bụ otu this COVID-19 dịkwa. So ihe m na-eme solicit bụ ka the state government, the federal government should invite me together with my working team. Then anyị abịa enye isolation center and logistics. Anyị abịa enye a patient, then eweta ọgwụ abịa nye onye ahụ treat ya hụ na ọ dị free. So onweghị ihe ọzọ dị iche. All the symptoms bụkwa symptoms anyị na-ahụla ahụ, like all these season of breathings, then having sneezing, ụkwara, kata. Problem one of before people should value what we have here. Kenya you try we convince them. But them nego ka ha kpọ anyị ka abịanyere ha aka na ọgwụ na mụ doctor mas asị na ewepụtago m ọgwụ a ga-eji agwụ ya na-enye m patient nye isolation center nye m all the logistics eji arụ ya. We will make them proud.